I came out, I said that's a lie. Barrow is toying because they have demarcated land for themselves in different areas. Now he's going for the evidence of that. And this is the same strategy that the Yajame used. I said, Gambia, this is the reason behind Barrow toying this land, this area demarcation. And tomorrow's program, I'll tell you this so-called Barrow intention to retire and the land he is thinking of retiring to. It's not Makamakunda. No. And there's nothing like retire. We'll talk about it. I said that he is visiting GAM Petroleum in order to prime GAM Petroleum. What did I knew then? Already I knew that Barrow was informed of the liquidity of GAM Petroleum, just as he got informed of the liquidity of Social Security. He managed to wrestle Social Security out, starting to get into hold. Now he went for GAM Petroleum. The dividend that was paid from GAM Petroleum, and this was just under his administration. You see, Barrow cannot even think of that. When he came in, he did the right thing. He put the right people in place. GAM Petroleum started to deliver. GAM Petroleum have never made profit under Yaya Jammeh. Because of what? Yaya Jammeh had Basi. Basi had his son to run the operations and have a French guy who Basi brought in to run GAM Petroleum. Technically paying Yaya Jammeh dividends rather than paying Gambian dividends. But when things got changed and Barrow put Mohamed Manjang as the managing director for Social Security Housing Finance Corporation, and Social Security Housing Finance Corporation being one of the major shareholders of GAM Petroleum, Mohamed Manjang became virtually the chairman of GAM Petroleum. And with the strategy used and the enhanced transparency and whatever else done with the management, GAM Petroleum started to pay dividend first time. Social Security having dividend of 15 million, Port Society having dividends of millions, other investors had dividends of millions. And GAM Petroleum is not even state-owned. It's a limited company. Now, why Barrow is saying that to Gambianize it? What does it mean to Gambianize? It's a limited company owned by Gambian parastatals for that matter. Technically, even running into another quagmire of Gambians owning it by Social Security, Ports Authority, and the only shareholder, the only shares that were left, that were not under government control, were under Basi, Mohamed Basi, which obviously Yaya Jammeh created in that manner so that Yaya Jammeh get his dividends paid rather than Gambian's dividend. Everything themselves. What happened next? Barrow himself decided to take that those shares under Basi. Those shares were seized by the Janneh Commission and recommended because of the loss government had in the operations, be it tax and other things, that Gambia government should own the shares and Gambia government to control those shares. What happened? Social Security, Ports Authority, and other Gambians wanted to buy the shares because it was a good investment. It was a guaranteed return. Guess what Barrow did? Barrow used an executive order to take those shares, to sell it to a Senegalese Mauritanian national. That's what we call Star Oil. There's the other company, they have another name, Petro something. If someone can remember the name, Petro something Star Oil. The person owning that Petro Star Oil and everything, surname is Barrow, but no relation to Barrow himself. Their surname is Barrow, but they are Mauritanian Senegalese citizens. He sold it to them rather than selling it to, ensuring that what the board wanted to do, was to sell it to a Gambian entity. Then who is not Gambianizing the investments? No, but Barrow went to visit that day, and I said that Barrow went there in order to look at the structures and everything. Now, for his economic cartel, and the principal part of that economic cartel is called Mohamed Jah. And I can tell you, and tomorrow again, make sure you listen to this program. What is going behind the scenes of trying to convince each other that, okay, Barrow to leave power and Mohamed Jah to take over. And how the central bank governor too is playing a part in this. We'll get into the details of this. We are glad that Barrow have came out and fired the shots. We knew of this so-called arrangement few months before. That's why I said we are happy that yesterday he fired the shots, and I was warned that Barrow is going to fire the shots on this, finally. That's why I'm saying let Barrow leave to the to take me to court. I want Barrow to take me to court in this trial here. And if Barrow takes me to court and Barrow government is not deposed democratically, then that's to Gambians, because of enough evidence will come out through the courts. People that understand legal cases will tell you know what I'm talking about. The evidence I have personally with me, and the evidence to come out that Barrow himself will have to reveal will be enough. Because probably the evidence I have will not be enough even to push Gambians. That's why I'm holding and waiting for that court date. But in the course of it, evidence is coming out in many areas. I don't think there's no genuine Gambian that will be convinced of Barrow's position against my position, unless dishonest Gambians or Gambians who are not aware. That's why I am very comfortable with my conscience, my integrity intact, to stand here to make these allegations and ready to defend them in a court of law, if that is what it takes. But I thought Gambian opposition would have taken this opportunity. They have not made the allegations, but the allegations are so substantial that the government have come out to threaten a citizen to take it to the courts in the United Kingdom. That will cost millions. Then the opposition should have stood up and asked the government to reveal, to clear itself. But unfortunately, our opposition are not proactive, or unfortunately, our opposition are not strategic. But I am not demanding this for the opposition to defend me. When I was doing it, I did not seek approval for any individual, approval for any opposition leader or opposition position. I did it for my citizenry, my patriotism, and my knowledge and know-how to do things, and ready to take whatever it comes with it. But I am confident that I'm not risking anything for myself, to my family, my integrity, or anything else. Now, as I said, the GAM Petroleum case is an indication or a proof of all the allegations I have made before, because it's vindicated to be fact. We move on. Barrow did that. Went to visit there, shares were sold for an entity. And when I made those allegations, other things were going on. There was going to be a trip to Dubai. And they called that trip to say that he was invited by the royal family. I came out, in fact, to preempt. You see, some of the things we do, people say, oh, where's the evidence? No. At times we do it to stop them. Because that's the best action we can take to limit the damage being done to our state. When I came out, 5 days before, the Gambia government coming out to advertise, to announce the Barrow going for invited by the Prince of Dubai or whatever it is. I came out and preempt. I knew what I was doing. I want to stop that trip happening. Petrogas, thank you very much. Petrogas, the shares were paid, sell to Petrogas. What we did. If I said I'm done, take it, I mean what we did was to preempt. 5 days before, I started to agitate about the trip, to stop the trip happening. Because what was contained in the trip? The people, in fact, that came out within and gave me, they did not know the other components. But this is the good thing about it. When I have this information, based my background and experience and the structures and the contacts I have built over the years, come and help. And it even gives me more detail that the people that are part of it and contacted me did not have. But because when I receive information, I don't run with it. I have a process it goes through to verify. And one of those processes is to agitate, in fact, asking questions. And it leads to things coming out, or there are people that I approach and there's a method. I don't go out to say, oh, Bakari, I'm told this and this. No. There's a way to put it to Bakari. Because one thing you have to, I know we have to avoid is leading the person to agreeing with you or compromising his position in order for him to give you a conflicting report. There's a way you even put it that, because when he responds, because of the way you put it, the way he responds and what he responds with will help for you to get to understand, yeah, the merit of what you're looking for, and it goes on. At times it goes on 3-4 different processes before I come out. And if I'm certain of everything, I come and point it as allegation. Pam. If I'm not certain, I put it as a question. If I write something, I put it as a question and make sure there's a question mark on it. This is the verification process it goes. But again, when they said about this Dubai trip, there was this business people involved. Mohammed Jah. He was already in the advanced party and the people he moves with. But I was more worried. You see, and I'll explain this another time. I am not against, I am supportive of Gambians, whoever they are, wherever they come from. Most, let me put it, frame it again. I am supportive of Africans, more so Senegalese, Gambians, or West Africans, having the share of business, but more so a Gambian. I'm supportive of Mohammed Jah and any other Gambian, wherever they come from, to have the sake of our economy. It's to my interest, it's to my interest. But I am not in support of any Gambian that is in fact undermining the stability of our nation in order to enrich themselves and build their whatever empire they want to build. Never. I want a strong government in the sense of a centralized government that is there to represent the good and the interests of the entirety of our nation. Not a government that is hijacked and controlled by individuals regardless of who they are, where they're from. That's why I am not against foreign investment, but I know the interest and the benefits of having our own to own. But I will not support our own because of, or I will not force, I will not be, not advocate against them if they are found wanted. Mohammed Jah and others were there. But there's more worrying, in fact. There were other so-called business people. One of them, I forgot the name, Lamin Kamara or something, Kamara, who was UDP and turned from the diaspora here, Belgium, somewhere around Europe, and turned to be a supporter of Barrow. So-called having a company, that company getting into what oil exploration and having a memorandum of understanding been signed with Frank Timis. And I know the people behind that camera. I think it's Lamin Kamara, if I forget. Ibrahim Kamara or something like that. But again, that I expose. And they were part of it. But more worrisome, in fact, those who don't have the capacity, but more worrisome, they were people who were going to join the entourage to fly from Gambia. Some of them are known to be involved in drugs. Some of them are known to involve in transport, money laundering. And in fact, the worst form of money laundering was not only deprived from economic crime, but money laundering. Money laundering from counterfeit dollars. And these are counterfeit dollars they procure from North Korea. A grade to the point of some machines cannot detect. And that is mostly what is in circulation in the Gambia. These were part of the people. And when I found out that they were part of it, I said, definitely this trade needs to stop because of the damage it's going to do to our industry, to our country. And I make sure it stopped. They came out later on, my agitated came out later on, they said it's postponed. To today, they have not talked about that trip again. If that trip was genuine, and if I was wrong, why did they not reschedule? If they have that important personality inviting them, which I doubted even then, because I was told the way it was arranged and the way the press release made it was completely different. It was not that of an official nature as they have purported, but it was something, lobbyists have created, and part of saying that, the president will want your audience whilst in Dubai. It was the president who want your audience while in Dubai. It was not. Well, it was not that the Highness or Your Highness or Royal Highness have gone out of their way to invite President Barrow. But that was part of, again, the thinking of GAM Petroleum, because some of these entities wanted to take over GAM Petroleum. President Barrow wanted to take over GAM Petroleum, just as Dictator Jammeh have controlled GAM Petroleum, the liquidity of the GAM Petroleum. It went on, that was around May, June. In October, the scandal hit PAM. Some people came out, Ben Suwareh was onto something here. They said there was a petrol shortage. And I'll refer people to go and look at the court proceedings. And I did cover the court proceedings in the beginning. And I gave up. I said what? I cannot see this court proceedings going to hold these two people accused, Shehu Drame and something Gassama, the MD and the Director of Operations. Because what was being put out there have no merit in holding these people accountable or faulting them for missing petrol. I said that. And I said, I won't even disclose, because I don't see this. I said, if I was the defense, I would not even put my witnesses, my client on the defense. I would go for a no-case submission, because that's what the defense managed to do. Because the prosecution came with the witnesses, and in fact the witnesses, whereas it was produced by the defense, what was the point? And in my observation, I said one thing. I don't go after individuals. I said that the government have done something wrong. This should not have been looked by a so-called task force. All the so-called task force is invented by Yahya Jammeh, and it's a way of having control over investigations in order to have an outcome, a desired outcome. I said the government should have employed an independent accountancy to make sure they go in there for a forensic, seeking for the forensic evidence. Accountants. And that forensic evidence would be enough to take things to trial and anybody complicit. Because I knew, obviously, there is corruption in every organizations. But in order to determine, you need the experts to look into it. It's easy to make allegations. It's easy to see things some circumstance evidence lying all over the place. The lifestyle of people and other things can be used as a circumstance evidence, but not a material evidence that be taken to court of law to prove a case. This is why I recommended investigation by forensic accountants to go into it. And I said then to review the operations from the forensic evidence, then that will help you as an audit report to review any witnesses in the operational proceedings, and that can be enhanced. What happened? In fact, from the evidence, and I said, I am putting my point here from the trial, evidence, that's why I don't like commissions. Because what court gives you is the opportunity for someone to give an evidence and be cross-examined by qualified people to get out the facts. from the evidence and cross-examinations, as I said, it was selective justice. What they have alleged could not have been done by two people, especially MD and an oppositional director. But if what I have alleged was to be proven, then the other people, stakeholders involved in it, should be put on trial, not two people. But what was revealed based on evidence, facts, is, I'm not talking about the circumstances and even other, but I just want to point to three major things that came out. One, that in fact, and I will emphasize this point, because I know this point was not even comprehended by a lot of people. I don't know how Sehu Drameh may have made wealth, may have gained, may have benefited in it. I did not know how, if it happens, how it was done. I don't know. But myself, including others, have a belief based on reports coming out, allegations coming out, based on a lifestyle Sehu Drameh have, that he is culpable of corruption. But went to the courts, the government failed to prove that. Now, whatever other things it came out is, according to the court proceedings, that Sehu Drameh and Gassama, Gassama was cleared of any wrongdoing, which in fact makes it now a crime to allege certain things until we have the evidence on Sehu Drameh and Gassama, because they're cleared by court. And they cannot even be tried by the same courts again, until a new evidence come in, and that will be a complete trial different from what they've been accused, because of the double jeopardy law. But now, what else came out of it? In fact, now, because, okay, let me explain that bit. What came out is the missing fuel they claimed have been proven by the state witness themselves, that the fuel was not missing, but was given to people who, by the operational proceedings allowed by GAM Petroleum, the policy in GAM Petroleum allowed these people to be given credit to be paid back in 90 days. Given credit to be paid back in 90 days. And according to the proceedings, again, these people came out, and in fact, before going to trial, these people did go to the police station and admit to taking or been given this petrol within 90 days for them to pay. And when the case came to court, these people came out again, be it Jar Oil, be it every other petrolist, and said, yes, they have taken, and they have been taken, and it's according to these things. And all the money, the other people from the management of GAM Petroleum came out and said, yes, this is allowed. And guess what? All these people paid back what they have owed. Now, the next thing that came out will surprise Gambians. But the Gambia government went and mortgaged part of GAM Petroleum to pay for this fuel set mission. They paid the importers. These are the major companies that bring in petrol. Adex, Trafalgar, and TF. I'm not sure of PSTV part of it or whatever. But these are about 3 to 4 companies. They went and paid them. Now, why did the government rush to pay when, during their inquiries, they have determined that there are people here we hold accountable for this fuel? Let these people then settle, and we settle. But they went and paid. How did they pay? What did they pay? And where is the balance paid by these people then? Where is that discrepancy? Where is it? Go and find Barrow. Let Barrow come and explain that. That's why I said the proactiveness of opposition parties is not just to come and allege. The evidences are there in the court proceedings. The opposition party should have gone through the evidence and come and advocate and hold Barrow accountable for that. You see, that's what Pastef do in Senegal. Ousmane Sonko party, that's what they do in Senegal. It's not only the resistance outside. The reason they have the support to resist outside is because of the leadership Pastef give in holding the government accountable. Now, I said this discrepancies appeared during in the court proceedings. Where is that discrepancy? Where is that payment made by the oil marketing OMCs, oil marketing companies? Where is that payment made? And now, why did the government mortgage part of GAM Petroleum in order to pay the international transport? The sellers. Now, another point is who have been to which entity who the mortgage is with who. We have to determine that as well. I'm still digging in, and I'm appealing to people who might know to give me the information that might lead me to find out who is behind it. I have my suspicion, but I'm not going to share my suspicion because I am to determine something. There's something going on here, and that's why I'm going to point at later. But I don't want to start to accuse that person that vital information will be a clue to where this thing is going to. The trial have done that. Now, what do I mean by that? You remember what happened to Julbrew, Banyan Breweries, when we came out and I fired the shots again, said that Julbrew is going to close. They want to close Julbrew. Or people went political. Or it's about the OIC because of the OIC summit. I said that's a lie. Turkey sell alcohol. Senegal sell alcohol. Other countries sell alcohol. And they all hosted the OIC. It have never been an issue raised. I said never been an issue raised. The point is, let's go for the facts. What government is doing is deliberate, taxing the end company into non-existence. Because the only way the government could have taken over and Julbrew was to tax it over out of. They knew. Mambure was not stupid. Other people were not stupid in the sense that they knew that if you demand certain amount of tax from a company, means that that company will be out of existence. And making it easier for the importation of the same product. It was not about stopping drinking of alcohol in the Gambia. No, even alcohol is more drunk more today than ever. And in fact, unsafe alcohol is drunk today than ever. At least the Banyan Brewery was satisfied unit that was selling alcohol.